Üdvözlet mindenkinek a KCD2 folytatásában. Az utolsó alkalommal, amikor játszottunk, akkor éppen egy fontos találkozóra kellett Henrynek bemennie. Úgyhogy valószínűleg szolgálónak fogunk öltözni, és úgy fogunk behatolni erre az eseményre. Éhesen és mérgesen? Na, mesélj, mi a baj? Addig meg indítsuk el a gémet. Lilának már nem csak a KCD-ben van kardja. Hát, nagyon sokat segít nekem a kisasszony rendbe rakni a YouTube csatornát, úgyhogy úgy gondoltam, hogy innen a távoli Angliából hirtelen csak így tudom meghálálni a sok segítséget. De a munka még mindig nincs kész. Még nagyon-nagyon sok mindent kell csinálni majd, úgyhogy ja, ez egy ilyen külön szépen lassan, de biztosan haladó projekt lesz. Az új videóformátum az igazából az már külön hangcsatornákra vesz fel mindent, meg lesz majd vágva az eleje, meg a vége, meg hasonlók. Vigyázban fogsz ülni Twitch-en? Azt hittem eddig is vigyázban ülsz, Nozi. Csak akkor hajolsz előre, amikor kamion volánja mögött ülsz, nem? Legalábbis ezt tudom elképzelni. Anyway. Szóval felöltöztünk. Addig lógattad néha le. Milyen magas a te széked? Hogy lógatod a lábad, haló? Szóval felöltöztünk. Szépen. Mint pincér. És behatolunk a Council-nak a meetingére. I'm back.
Let's have a look at you then. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have.
A tunic?
Those are good. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what you have to do?
Szétszaladnak kamionozni. Én meg hát a kiskutya, ugye? Tehát a kiskutya, akire folyton rálépsz.
Szia, Lajos. Szia, bazd meg.
Szia Zorinka, hello. Na nézzük. Hadd tesztelj, várjátok most, tesztelnem kell egy ijesztgetést, csak hogy mennyire hangos. Mert nem akarom, hogy nagyon hangos legyen. Nézzük csak. Oké. Várj, tesztelek még egyet. Ne ijedj meg. Dunát. Azt akarom, hogy ti is beszéljetek, ne csak én. Ez nem hangos? Feljebb töltöm a hangerőt, haló. Azt én nem hangos. Még feljebb tolom. Wink, wink. Oké. Na nézzük, hogy most mennyire hangos. Azt a kurva! Jó, azt hiszem, ez most így jó lesz. Köszi Zolinka, megerősítést. Biztos, hogy benne, hogy így még jobb lesz. Na. Szóval. Akkor a villám csapott be, hogy szétesett a széken, várja. Oké. Azt hiszem jó lesz. Herminye elalszik. Hiányzik Szemin. Szeminben a zene annyira jó volt. Hát nálunk hullik a csillár, amikor házi buli van, tudod.
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load.
Ember.
You can wait in the cubby hall for the servants.
Gutenberg Council. Miért? Tovább megyek, megnézem a hangot. Aha! Azért volt ez nekem halk. Serve the Gutenberg
Our
Council.
current Waffen arsenal is a joke, and on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
Hey, wait, pour me some. What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying
Pour me
that the
some wine.
bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That Hackenbücher. Hand cannon. Can you believe it?
Boy,
Where
are
did
you
they
deaf
get
or
them?
something? Why? You're the one
Why?
who should know where they got them. Since you're a gunsmith.
Take the white.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons
are you
than the
deaf or
city
something?
garrison.
Wine.
And Herr König
I apologize,
surely
sir.
knows this too.
Which wine?
Tokai.
What is
White.
it, Eldris?
Are you
Tokai.
deaf?
You smell a deal?
What
Mean
I
I'm-
smell is
mean I'm
that your
talking,
stubborn
Tony.
heads do
sir.
not realize what Schwierigkeiten
sure.
this is.
Thank you,
The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight, exactly?
Felhívnak az étterembe, hogy szia, én vagyok az Patrick,
Hi there.
és biztos így akarod a hamburgered? Én meg így, ki a tököm az a Patrick? Szia, Grosza! A hamburger az jöhet. Hát de ő úgy mondta, mintha nekem tudnom kéne, hogy ki. Pulled pork, az nagyon jó. Én a filmre fogok rendelni kebabot. Just in case, tudod. Szia, én vagyok az Patrick. Anyád a Patrick egyébként.
Merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection.
És nem tudom, honnan kell.
Der König and his
Sir,
army
Hi
will
there.
not be here
Szia, Liffy.
forever.
Wait
Shut up. Get me white.
The king can arrive at any moment.
Get me
What if
white.
he heard you?
What then? We're sitting atop
White.
the biggest silver heap in the kingdom.
Azt mondta,
and
white.
we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where
Hey,
can we
where's
get
my
the
white?
coin
Sorry.
for better equipment?
Húsolja?
We can always confiscate the property
Itt
of
a
the
white
king's
az.
enemies.
thank the Lord.
Nicht wahr?
Fuck off.
We are more than familiar with the jämmerlich state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well.
Milyen
Maybe
tök van a
if he
kertben?
waived some of the taxes?
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed
and a
for the
full cup.
Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always
I
ask the
apologize,
king to
sir.
bring order to the realm
Which
with
one?
his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
Fucking
I'm
hell.
afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter.
Dogo.
Maybe we can change
sir.
his mind. Vielleicht.
You like?
Thank the Lord.
I'd
Sure.
like to report to the honorable council on the
Mindenki-
cleanliness of the
mindenki
city
izét iszik
and the
tokait.
state of the public bath.
Úgyhogy szerintem
Baths or
itt
brothels?
hagyom.
Isn't it the same
Come
thing?
here, friend. And bring that red with you.
So the cleanliness of the city is
fuck.
not what it should be. The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
But we have another bathhouse here.
Am I to yell here like at
My
a
friend Adam
horse
from the baths
fair?
in Hrada.
I said I wanted
Fú, Gerci, ő lesz,
red.
ki ez?
Well, thank the
He's just
Lord.
envious.
Ez
Yet
Adam.
he sees the opportunity, and people are lining up to bathe there.
Is that true?
I'd find it hard to believe.
Várjátok, ezt vissza kell töltenem. Mert az egyik személyre azt mondta a faszoi, hogy neki nem szabad adni alkoholt, mert különben megvadul.
The city reserves.
Oh shit! Várj. Nézzük meg ezt. Na, nincsenek tökeid? Dehogy de vannak. Ami gyorsan bekezdhetem, úgy így megyek is tovább, mert még vissza kell másznom a kocsiig, majd este filmnél talizunk. Jó, 6-kor várunk. Ja, elfelejtettem levenni a Bélákat. Bocsánat, köszi, hogy szóltál.
Here I am. Let's have a look at you then. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have.
A tunic?
Those are good. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what you have to do?
Can you tell me once more what?
Are you soft?
Fuck off.
Pour for Adam of Zarjitz
Adam.
because he can't hold his booze. Red monastery wine. White Tokai by the door to the chapel. Got it?
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here.
Az Adamnek nem szabad tölteni semmit. Look at the wine.
Of wine.
Our current
Hopefully I won't splash
is a
anyone's
joke.
shoes.
And on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it.
Boy, I'd like
Should
to
the
white.
town reserve have worse weapons
White.
than any Heuber in the domain?
What are you getting at?
Az Adamnek nem szabad
I'm
adni.
saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That Hackenbücher.
Thank you,
Hand
Waiter.
cannon.
You're
Do
welcome.
you believe it?
Látod?
Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them. Since you're a
És hogy Adam
gunsmith.
barátomnak
I'm sorry.
What are you
szabad...
implying?
I wasn't
Fritz?
paying attention.
All I'm saying
Well, you
is
should.
that they had
The waiter.
Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws
I
have better
fancy some
weapons than the
Tokai.
city garrison.
Refill, boy.
And Herr König surely knows this.
Unforbidden.
I'd like to oblige, but
What is it, Eldris? This is unbelievable.
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this
Wait up.
is.
Pour me red
The
wine.
Dry Devil is running free.
Red wine.
There are Raubrichter
Yes.
everywhere in the region.
Fancy
we have
some
the
Tokai?
army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight? Exactly.
Sik some
The
red.
merciful King Sigismund, providing us with protection.
Tank, ne a Lordnak tankelt, hanem nekem.
His army will not be here forever.
Én adtam neked volt.
Shut up!
Nem a
The king can arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
What then? We're sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always
me look
confiscate
good.
the property of the king's enemies. Nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with the
Nicht wahr?
Yemenish state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes?
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm
Dörfle.
afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean baths or brothels?
Waiter, get me white.
Isn't it the same thing?
that's not a good idea, sir.
This is
So the
unbelievable.
cleanliness of the city is
Uncle
not
Shamit.
what it should be. The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
But we have another bathhouse here, on Hopring.
My friend Adam from the baths in Haradek district.
More
told me
wine,
about it.
Master Bailiff?
Says it's
I have
filthy.
enough wine.
Nonsense.
Come closer.
He's just envious. Betty seized the opportunity, and people are lining up to bathe there.
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole
Ulrich,
it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if
Okay.
Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit.
Good to know.
Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
Where can I find the goblet? I have to sell wine.
I can't. I'm supposed to serve the lords.
You're supposed to do what you're told. But suit yourself. I'll go and get it myself after the assembly.
Needlessly.
Are you questioning
Lehet,
God's
hogy
plan?
nem kéne
The Black Death had nothing to
itt
do with the
hagyni a
baths.
az
Unless the
assemblit, hanem
Lord wishes
figyelni, hogy
to
miről
punish the
beszélnek, mert
wickedness that's going on in there.
kell az
Keeping the
információ.
city clean is pour me red wine.
But we don't have money to spare.
Red wine.
Arguing about who is going to wash where and how
Tudtam, hogy
is a waste of time.
It's only a waste of time because we're always arguing about the same thing.
Not at all. If you'd finally admit that
about
it's a trifle,
time,
we
vártál
wouldn't have to
4
keep coming
másodpercet,
back to it.
retard.
A trifle? Do you ever walk the streets here? Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nas's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Figyeljünk, hogy mit
words in
mondanak.
my
Hát, ha valami hasznos
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as we know, Gunslin absolutely hates him.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage.
Refill, boy.
Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Tokai.
I'm not sure what you're implying.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Oh, that. Just a small misunderstanding.
Well,
We've sorted it out and
Ma'am.
everything's settled.
My ears
Emre
must be
Kalor.
deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides,
Tokai,
if his men
and a
attacked
full cup.
yours, as I've heard, then we have a
Full
good
cup
reason
Tokai.
to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Ruthard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it.
Thank you,
I
waiter.
heard there were several
welcome.
dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Ruthard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself.
Milyen jó szolgáló lennék, nem?
Is here.
That's true.
Egy feladatom van.
Because if we don't do
Bort
something
önteni.
about him, the king himself
waiter,
will put an end
pour
to
me some
him,
Tokai.
and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first.
Ki mondta ezt?
God
Az?
knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happens, there's
Nem
no point
emelte fel a
dwelling on
kezét.
it. Let's move on.
I'm sorry, Andreas, but I wouldn't brush it off so quickly.
Köszönöm szépen.
Why do I have the feeling you're
Well,
not telling us
thank
the
the
whole
Lord.
truth, Ulrich?
Are you accusing me of
szépen.
lying?
Those are
Ja,
strong
ide is
words,
jöhetnék.
my
Hallom?
friend. Nobody said
Szeretnéd,
anything
ha
like
szolgáló
that, did they?
lennék?
Then why doesn't he tell us what really happened?
I'm not keeping anything from you, but there's little truth to the rumors circulating around the town. Yes, Ruthard and I had a little disagreement, but we ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get
munka.
involved. I didn't want to expose the girl.
Köszönöm
to
szépen
anyone
az őszintességed.
So Ruthard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts.
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
Eddig nem hasznos, amit mondanak
Alright,
egyébként.
if we really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want. I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword fighting school brought this custom to us.
Hey, boy,
It's now
a
run
full
by
cup
the
of
German
monastery
men.
wine.
Who knows who that fellow is?
Don't be ridiculous, Forsucker.
Hogyha monastery, akkor az red.
And to accuse a
I
sword
apologize,
master
sir.
without a shred
Which
of
one?
proof.
Monastery red.
Sir?
So you will just leave it be?
Proven offences.
Don't hang around me. Vanish. You hear me?
That's that.
Fuck off!
There
Te
are
kértél
more
bort,
pressing matters to
hülye.
deal with.
More pressing than the open contempt of the whole town garrison. The guards are apparently settling accounts their own way. We'll soon
Franz
be the
Rosenthal.
laughing stock of the whole town.
You can rest assured the whole town is already laughing at us.
Refill,
all
sir.
day long.
Do you think I come to the council
So what
just to
if they have
guzzle
one more
wine?
reason?
Come here!
My word.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them.
Az
I
egy szar
can't
ügy.
just get up and walk out now. But
Ja,
if
Betsy.
you disappear for a little while,
I really should.
I really shouldn't, sir.
a fine servant you are.
Out with it.
Pontosan.
We'll never get anywhere like this.
Szia Bácsi, köszönöm szépen. 130. Ez valami nagyon durva rekord, te lány. Remélem jobban
Hey, waiter! Pour me some monastery wine.
Ezt ki mondta? Adam, te lófasz kapsz.
Not a good idea, sir. Better try harder.
The eternal dispute
Otherwise I'll
over
soon
the
give myself
cathedral.
away.
The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers, right under our noses. It's just a village with a monastery, and they are going to Mokarol mining city. Why can't we build faster?
Hey, waiter!
Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Haven't you
Tokai,
noticed there's
fehér.
a war going on? Are the experts from far off supposed to work in the city under siege?
Besides,
Sir?
I get the feeling there's something other than
Wait,
the
he's
welfare of
still
the
man.
city behind your
You,
complaints.
lads!
Are you
You
do?
look familiar to me.
And what
Have we
would
met?
that be?
Like, for instance, that you'd like to have...
I really couldn't say,
order there?
sir.
So what if I would?
I
Hold
have
your
a
horses,
feeling
gentlemen.
I've spoken with you
That
before,
space
too.
in the side nave is
Or
mine.
with someone
And hell
who looks
freezes
a
over,
hell
my
of a
friend.
lot like you.
Your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha! I think not.
Excuse me. You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself
Még
a seat
látszik,
in
hogy,
this council.
hogy vendéglátásban dolgoztam.
I acquired my
Azt csinálom,
seat
amit
for the
kell.
services our guild
Nem
provided
rohangálok
and
jobbra-balra.
still provides to the crown.
Hey, boy!
I hope
Full
you're not
cup of
supplying
monastery
equipment to
wine.
the army.
Okay.
If that's all they have,
Ez red.
they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Hopbrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from the whole
Átmentem
town go
az
to
asztalon.
watch them brawl.
Oh,
Yeah, fuck off.
this is news to me.
Because it has all been sorted out. Not long ago,
Elővenném egy a
guards
kart, és,
raided and threw
és
them
így
all out.
leütnék, leszúrnék
yes,
mindenkit, de jó lenne.
What do we have to
Belső
discuss
sötét
next?
gondolatok.hu.
Hey, waiter, pour me some Tokai.
Fucking hell. Hol van a király amúgy? Nem fog eljönni. Ugyanaz, mint a Samin Wedding, az meg.
Sir?
Mehet, csak mencs. Nincs nem a kard.
Thank you, waiter.
Hol a király? Where is that cunt?
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
His Majesty the King. Hoppá!
Azonnal gyűjtsek össze a legjobb katonákat, és keljenek útra!
Itt is van a vörös ördög. Benne vagy basszak a darás fészekbe, Henry. Azt a kurva. Wine. Tokait iszik, menjél öntsé. Go, 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 Harry, Harry, Henry, menjél szépen. Úgy, egyik lábad előre, másik is, nagyon jó. Ő nem ismert fel, nagyon jó. Szépen öntsél.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Like this man of false!
Damn, hallod? Milyen tekintélye van, geci? Akarom mondani, elnézést. You have nothing to fear. Ez mi? Szaktól? Ja nem. Ez a hely, ahol... Étenek a fiúk! Landscape, itt van mindenki. Itt van mindenki. Miért érzem, hogy ebből baj lesz?
Come now, Father.
Hoppá.
Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
Kis grafikai
You
bú.
have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject.
Do you know any of the guests?
Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try.
Who's that Frenchman?
Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one.
Yeah.
Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
What's it like to be free?
How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
What are you going to do now?
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Meet Grabant, get to know the rabbi and his escort. Ott van Liechtenstein.
Fine.
Was?
I'm glad you finally accepted.
Ez a francia. Ez a francia. Brabant.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauclin Brabant,
Baron.
Chevalier d'Arezzo.
Chevalier
The
d'Arezzo.
last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word.
Amúgy szép a francia nyelv. Egyszer
Mais
szeretném
non.
megtanulni.
And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
Pleasure is all mine.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off.
Egyszer, amikor Normandiában voltunk, akkor egyik reggel bementünk ki boltba tesómmal, és úgy köszöntem az eladónak, hogy bonjour. És azt mondta, amikor kifelé, amikor fizettünk, akkor elkezdett felém franciául beszélni, és mondtam, hogy nem beszélek franciául. És azt mondta, hogy olyan szépen mondtam azt, hogy bonjour, hogy azt hitt, hogy francia vagyok. Úgyhogy nagyon erősen gondolkozom a francia nyelvleckéken. De vagy más szép, Lilus. Ha latin nyelv, olasz, spanyol elsőnek, francia szép, csak sok a kivétel. Nem is azért, de szeretnék majd menni Kanadába körbenézni úgy. Ezért is gondolkoztam a francián, ugyebár ott két nyelvet beszélnek, angolt meg francián.
How did you end up in
Az olasz annyira nem...
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
Here's the thing. I have.
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah, je suis désolé. This Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farmhands, children, and even women fighting. But the clergy? Sainte Mère, do tell me about it. No doubt you fought on the side of truth and honor.
Addig menj, amíg nem lehet amerikai útlevél Kanadába és Grönlandra. Na igen. I fought on the field of Kosovo.
My last big battle was in Kosovo.
I've heard of this battle. Many great men fell there.
Aye. And it was there I decided it was nothing for me. So I settled down in the presbytery in Ujits.
Then, what are you doing here at a meeting of opponents of the crown?
The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
Ezek után annyira fura lenne visszamenni KCD1-be, és meglátogatni amúgy Ujitsot, meg Godwint.
You say you're a poet? How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a fuss to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
Na, reputation gained. Ki van még itt? Egy csomó noble. Konzlin. Mr. Konzlin. From Margrave. Hol van a rabbi?
Mark my words, they'll be at each other's throats before dinner.
Hans. Ki van még itt? Rabbi.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
My greetings to my ear.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Gutenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you on business?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here than gaining a few groschen. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of itsCobbi.
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
We would hit it off. The heir is human.
Henry's done a few things I'd like to give him a slap or two for. But like they say, to err is human. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world.
Hi there.
For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry and raised him as his own on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir itsCobbi, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health. Oh, better not drink. I did it.
Good health.
L'chaim.
I just didn't buy. Okay, good win. Van Hanush.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance.
Like Heim.
He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing.
Do you have news? I'm not going to die.
Friends! We'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Én jó vagyok, köszönöm. És nálad milyen helyzet, Enci? Héberül az egész...
That went just as expected. Good health. And to yours.
Jó hangos. Ja, ez az volt nekem is. De szerintem csak ez a jelenet volt hangos. De most minden halt megint.
He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed.
Jól
And
úr
that's
kit,
why I'd
köszönöm
like
a
to
lúrkit.
ask something of you.
I don't have anything better to do anyway. Indeed, and that's why I'd like to ask something.
As it happens, I've got nothing better to do anyway.
Excellent.
Egy picit
I
tagadotál, az
expect we
mindig
can
jó.
agree that Jobst's plan
Nagyon
has
szeretek takarítani.
certain shortcomings.
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council.
Ooh.
But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
Szini mini. Az jó. Nem jó helyre írtam a sushi. Patrik? Patrik küldte? Amúgy. Sigismund will be scared. What if we provoke Sigismund?
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, Haman Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
What if it doesn't work?
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome, because it would mean slow but certain defeat for all of us.
Az a baj, Enci, hogy én kikapcsoltam az összes reklámot, és az a véleményem erről, hogy akinek 100 alatti nézői, akinek átlag 100 alatti nézőszáma van, annak nem is kellene, hogy bekapcsolva legyen, mert nincs semmi értelme, csak idegesíted vele a nézőidet. De ettől függetlenül a Twitch ugyanúgy lenyomja a torkodom.
Why me, of all people?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not just out for your own good. You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect. That's why I know I can count on you both. There aren't many like you two left.
Tell me a bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with.
Certainly. Who do you want to start with?
Bocek.
Bocek of Kunststadt. I know the name, but I can't quite place him.
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game, because he doesn't like to take risks. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will hold him back.
Aw, szépen.
Lillus. Nagyon szépen köszönöm az ajándékszót Encinek. Egy igazi angyal vagy. Nem kellett volna. Ne költsétek rám a pénzeteket, kérlek, jó? Nagyon szépen köszönöm. Hidd el, az majd, annak van máshol sokkal jobb helye.
Older the alderman. Wasn't he a Kuttenberg councillor?
He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. So his days in the council are numbered. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich burghers. And that's why we need him.
Anna of Waldstein. The widow of that rich mine owner. What was his name?
Wenzel Bartosz. And I'm not surprised you forgot.
I was quite surprised to see her here. Assemblies like this are more of a...
A male affair? So far, Godwin, so far. Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary young widow. But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she certainly has no love lost for Sigismund.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from her late husband's money, of course.
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows a thing or two about diplomacy. There are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her. And that it was thanks to her that he died, too.
Okay.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Success to our plans.
Get support. Lehet beszélni a többiekkel? Nice. Ott van Hanucs meg Redzig, lehet velük beszélni? Nyomok egy F-et.
Take a look at that. A nightingale surrounded by hawks.
Job's the nightingale. He looks more like a wet hen to me.
It's quite unusual to see him cornered like this.
I'll bet my last groschen he's setting the stage for his final performance. I hope there'll be no singing. I've had a few nightingales and they all screeched like the devil.
Be careful with those groschen, my friend.
What is this about?
Oh, nothing. An old grievance.
A little misunderstanding involving a big pile of counterfeit groschen.
How big a
Ez küldetés volt az első játékban.
Bastard Istvan to raise a small army. He caused us a shitload of trouble.
Ez egy küldetés az első
játékban. But he was dangerously clever and as slippery as a bag of eels.
Even though Jobst is right, I'm in favor of decisive action. We can no longer afford to wait.
As if I didn't have enough on my plate already. Like my ward, who I can't leave unattended for a few days without him damn near getting executed.
Oh, go easy on him. It wasn't his fault. And you said you forgive him.
but for the last time. Those shenanigans of his have got to stop.
Ah, young Lord Capon is an adult now.
But he doesn't act like it, damn it.
So marry him off.
What?
Find him a wife. That'll straighten him out in no time.
Well, now that you mention it...
He'll sire a few brats and he'll be as tame as a lamb. And happy.
An interesting idea, don't you think, Hanush? Maybe he really needs
Feleségnek
a firm
adjuk
woman's
Hanst.
hand.
Don't you start too. Am I supposed to find him a bride? On top of everything?
No burger's daughter, but them merchants would bleed you dry before you could say dowry.
Godwin, you wouldn't be avoiding me. We didn't have much time for conversation on the way here. Let's rectify that.
Tudunk beszélgetni Randzsiggal.
As it happens, there's something I'd like to ask you.
What are the hopes for tonight's meeting?
What are you expecting from today's gathering, my lord?
Well, I have no great expectations. But, all going well, we may be able to establish some joint steps towards the future. As long as we proceed without prior agreement and mutual support, we will be very unlikely to achieve any progress.
The son's got Italian for noble.
I couldn't help but notice your son has a bit of a talent for getting into trouble.
To put it mildly, but not to do him an injustice, knowing young Lord Capon, he undoubtedly contributed to that more than a little. Although, if they didn't pull each other out of trouble, God knows where they'd be now.
Wise words. Still, Henry's come a long way on a thorny path. I trust you're rightfully proud of him.
You know, I am. And Martin would also be glad, even though Henry chose a different path than he.
May God grant him eternal rest.
Why didn't Divish of Talmberg? Jó öreg Divish.
Where did you leave Sir Divish? Surely he's not too old to miss out on such an event.
Haven't you heard? Lady Stephanie is with child.
Micsoda?
No one even imagined Divish would produce an heir at his age.
As they say, it doesn't matter who kneaded the dough, as long as there's a pie in the oven.
Godwin.
Well, it
What
could
the
be a
fuck?
miracle. Praise the Lord.
Gyerekek, ez nagyon nagy baj. A Stefani terhes, az azt jelenti, hogy Henry apa lesz. Bazd meg. Azt a kurva. Ez csak nekem sokkoló, mert én ismerem a sztorit, de én most le vagyok sokkolva. A Lillus, lemaradtál a legfontosabb hírről. Jó étvágyat. És lehetek keresztanyag. Micsoda? És mi baj? Miért baj? Szóval Divish, Sir Divish of Talmberg nek a felesége Lady Stephanie. Ők együtt vannak 1000 éve, és sajnos Divish nem tud úgymond gyermeket adni neki. Ez mind az első játékban kiderült, amikor is a mi karakterünk Henry megjelent az életében. Megbízta egy feladattal, amit Henry elvégzett, és hálául adott neki egy inget, amiben annyira megtetszett neki Henry, hogy beengedte a lábai közé, és most terhes. Mi azt jelenti, hogy Talmbergnek a trónörököse az Henrynek a fia lesz, nem pedig Sir Divishé. Terezának ne úgy adjam elő, hogy hurrá apa lettem? Jó. Igen, csak konkrétan így nem mászkálja arra. Henry apa lesz, bazd meg. Az valóban nem jó. Ez nagyon nem jó. Anus.
May I have a word with you, sir?
You? Anytime. With you, at least, there's some sensible
Ez kurva jó,
conversation.
te.
Unlike this pack of conceited upstarts.
What have you against the burgers here?
Have you got something against the Kuttenberg nobles?
Their forefathers lived up to their ears in dung. But thanks to the royal mines, they were born with silver spoons up their asses. And they think that can turn their blood blue.
But surely they're not all like that. And they are our allies.
Allies or not, someone ought to show them their place.
Young Lord Capon is finally free again. Let's hope he'll take better care of himself now.
He got a harsh lesson. But at least he might remember to lay
Lillus
off
is
that
megdugta már az
tomfoolery
ő végigjátszásába Stefanit.
War will make a man of him.
Csak úgy itt hagyom side note-nak.
Do you think there's really going to be a war? I mean a proper one. Not just sitting around and talking about it.
I sincerely hope so. Whoever sits around risks nothing. It's time to get off our asses and take action.
What do you think about Jobst?
Are you testing me? Jobst called this assembly and he wants things to turn out well. We have to trust him.
To turn out well for whose benefit, though? Some are up to their elbows in silver and blood, so others can live in freedom.
Better make sure you're among the latter, then. And in the meanwhile, help the former to keep their losses to a minimum.
Okay. Nyugodtan apa lettél, vagy micsoda apa leszel, van itt egy kis időparadoxon. Valakit szedúszolni kell.
Hi there.
Boldog új évfordulót. Szia Kontra, nagyon szépen köszönöm. Tiszteletem, tiszteletem.
We're trying to forge an alliance against our common enemy.
They're trying to do one thing and one thing only.
Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Jobst comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
Are we on the same side?
Are we not on the same side?
We are, but an alliance is of no use if it doesn't also guarantee safety.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund.
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's
my niece.
If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Ma a férfiak úgy öltöznek fel, mint a nők, szóval szerintem ez mindig jobb opció.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
I believe Liechtenstein is single.
And an uncertain party. Besides, he's inconvenient for Sigismund. Yitka could end up being a pawn to blackmail both of us.
How about young Lord
Pontosan.
He's a youngster still.
He's young but not experienced. Yitka wouldn't want to marry an old man. You're right, he's not a good choice.
What's wrong with him? He's young, he's handsome, women are fighting over him. Yitka will like him, and he'll give her a whole bunch of children.
And to half the wenches in his domain too, eh? On the other hand,
what the fuck?
The lords of Lipa have a good reputation, And Hanush can always be relied on, despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
Szóval jónak találta az ötletet, de mégis elbuktunk reput. What the fuck? Szoknya róz amúgy. I'll convey your offer.
I'll convey your offer to Lord King. If he agrees, we can celebrate our lives.
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
Először beszélek Hansszal. Biztosan miziher. Hans, figyelj már, itt van Jitka. Jó csaj, és hozzád menne, mit szólsz?
I've got some good news and some bad news for you.
The bad news is there's hardly any females in this whole damned place. There's some old bat standing there with 2 young girls, but she watches over them like a mother hen. So at least tell me the good news.
You're getting married.
You're going to get married.
Good one. Is she at least pretty?
I don't know. I've never seen her.
You're really a barrel of laughs, Godwin. Wait till Hanush hears this. Now, enough nonsense.
Okay.
Let's have a drink to your health and my freedom.
Okay.
To your health.
Nem kéne innunk amúgy, rájöttem. Hogy állunk alkohollal? Van nálam valami, amit csökkenti? Reputation gained. Jó ment.
Take a look at that.
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
Lord Capon is going to get married. Alkinus an ally.
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? By Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
That was a catch.
Well, there's one little catch. I had to promise him. I don't even know how to begin.
Out with it.
Lord Kunstadt has a niece, so I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing, if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Okay. Okay,
Cheers. Cheers to you. And to your parlaying skills.
Fuck, mindenkivel inni kell, ez nem jó.
Hi there.
Jó kezes a logokkal. Szia, Steve! Szép napot neked is. Jó. Túlzabáltam magam. Oké. Akkor megyünk és beszélgetünk.
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
Not even Bocek?
Not even Bocek.
Először domáljunk a... De ki vagy? Anna of Wallstein.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush.
Várjál, mi van, hogyha
I
hozzánk?
like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yod's plan has some gaps, Milady.
Lehet olyat?
We need to gather enough resources to
To muster an army that Margrave can't
Az vissza kéne
afford on his
töltenem.
Christ, be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Megpróbáljuk azt, hogy hozzáadjuk Hanst. Vagy maradjon így.
How do you know Liechtenstein is behind it?
I know most of the people here very well. Many of them certainly have doubts about the Margrave's plans. But they wouldn't dream of stating
mellesleg Anna nem rossz.
While it seems that Lord Liechtenstein, on the contrary, sees his opportunity.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this.
Nem tudom, miért lenne jobb, mert most legalább szereztünk egy elájt.
But also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
Csak azért, mert az előbb, amikor jöttünk, az ő feje felett nem volt semmi. És amint megbeszéltük, hogy hozzáadjuk a csajt a Hanshez, akkor eltűnt a feje fölül. Vagy nem volt ott a feje fölött?
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Harman Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
You have powerful enemies. You want me to rob an ally?
I'm supposed to rob an ally?
Harman Alder was given the documents to deliver to the council. He hasn't yet had a chance to look at them.
Mondjuk az igaz, így is kap egyet.
Have you fallen out with the town councillor?
No. Alder is innocent in the matter. My relatives from the House of Bartosz are behind it all. They're disappointed that I dared outlive my husband, and the fact that I'm handling his estates makes their hair stand on end.
Mondjuk ő és Hans egy elég kemény kötődés lenne, úgymond Ratá és közötte.
And these papers I'm supposed to switch.
Csak hangosan gondolkodok egyébként.
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain undesirable parties.
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear, but I'll rest easier when those papers are in my hands.
Erre rámentek és megnézik, ja?
And the papers I'm supposed to plant on Alder?
Just insignificant documents. If the incriminating ones disappeared without a trace, it would arouse suspicion.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorin's groom has eyes everywhere.
Nézzük csak. 25 perc. 15-25. Először beszélek a csajjal, megnézem, hogy feladja ezt a lehetőséget. Ha nem, akkor visszatöltjük. De nem, látod? Itt se. Pedig get support from Anna. Despite the gossip about her husband and timely death, she maintained a reputation of a clever woman in her own right, as well as a savvy dealmaker. Her skill could be useful to the allies, as if not more than her money. Tehát az ő neve mellett nincsen kijelölve.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster enough...
Christ.
I should say so, although...
You know what
You hit the nail on the head again, Mom.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of...
Not only for people,
Igen.
but also for good...
Then you've come to... Who taught you that?
Who did you learn from?
I acquired the basics from my husband, and the rest I learnt quickly, as soon as others started sniffing around. So, to the...
Nothing more than support and...
Nothing more.
Again. Well, you are wise as well.
It's not only you're well able to...
Then I'd be... If you want me to support...
Do you have something in particular?
Well...
Who's...
Harmon now.
Oké. Ugyanaz. Ugyanaz, nem lehet hozzáadni Hanst. Megtartjuk az eredeti felállást. Pedig az lett volna a legjobb szerintem. Mondjuk Hans nem a legélesebb kés a fiókban, de... de ja, az eléggé powerful lenne. Swap out the documents.
Take a look at that. A nightingale surrounded by a...
What brings you here?
Hello.
Greetings. What do you need?
A bit boring, isn't it?
Aren't you a bit bored?
What's your problem? The horses are fed and watered. I'm not idle.
God forbid. But standing around here must be a pain in the arse, no? You might get thirsty.
Not really. What of it?
Oh, just to get something from the shed. What about game of dice?
I left something behind in the shed and now I need it. So, would you let me in?
Is that so? And what are you after there?
Wine. For Alderman Alder.
Wine? Like there's not rivers of the stuff all around here. Stop drinking and don't bother me. And if I see you creeping around this shed, you'll answer to me.
Okay. Nézzük még egyszer. Remélem, hogy a Game of Dice ez segíteni fog.
Take a look at that.
Nincs itt senki.
What's that?
Hol vannak a saddlebagek? Itt van.
Huh. Strange.
Whoop.
Hey!
Bye.
You! What are you doing here?
Bye.
No one's allowed in here.
I'm just leaving anyway. Servus.
Servus.
That won't please Lord Odderin.
Servus. I'm leaving anyway. Servus. Fölülről lefelé végignyomtam a válaszokat, egy betűt nem értettem belőle. Várj, egyet föl kell menni. Bazd meg a pöcsém.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
Lady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's
And you got the
proposal
China.
with both words and money.
Easy to please.
Noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
To your health.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
Godwin. Csak egy picikét birk. Ojoj. 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 Fuck. Nincs valami, amivel ezt lehetne counterolni.
Have you seen that farmer's daughter?
Open.
I'd love to take her for a ride. My thoughts exactly.
Open. Nincs sehol. Bakter. Nincsen. Hát az a baj, hogy Henrynél van az összes poti. Nem, csak Marigold van. Oh! Hangover. Mondjuk nem hangoverem van, hanem kurvára részeg vagyok. Nézzünk körbe. Hát hol van valahol valami. Atyánknak józanító?
Oh no. Why? A lovely tree like that. It's a nice place to rest when you're passing by in the summer. The only bit of shade far and wide.
That's just it.
Okay.
Some noble was resting under
question.
it. Not for shade, but because it was pissing.
Hello.
All the more reason to leave it be.
Aye, but the weather had been stormy for a few days, so one of the branches snapped and fell off.
God grant you health, sir. Greetings to you.
Greetings to you. Keressünk valamit. Copper plate. Hoppá. Jó, azt nem lehet kinyitni. Bath water. Atyánknak józanító. Részegen fogok oda menni beszélni arról, hogy itt erről kéne tárgyalni. Rögtön be vagyok baszva. Nézzünk körbe másik helyeken is. Hát van egy poti. Wine. Discover dice. Trying rack. Nincs sehol. Open. Nincs józanító poti. Wine is jó lesz. Kek. Jó. Uff. Tuti nincs. Kétlem, hogy lenne bármi is. Jescin bír. Open. Fuck me. Itt van az ágyam fönn. Várjál. Az. Nem lesz feljebb benni? Ja, nem. Nincs semmi. Hát ez szomorú. Senkinél nincs józanító potion. Akkor viszont beszélgetnünk kell.
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Pah, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
Come as an envoy.
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
You're exaggerating, like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house of ill repute. Your whores wandering around as if they owned the place.
Actually, anything fun was strictly banned under your roof. But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old grouch.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Oh, yeah.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
Let's settle this peacefully, shall we?
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies. Take back your challenge, and we'll sort things out peacefully.
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for violence. I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs a lesson, and he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. By God's grace, I have at least one son I can be proud of.
You want satisfaction? You'll get nothing but shame, as always. Suit yourself, then. We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard, but quietly. We don't have to put on a show for the crowd.
After you.
Well, that's that. Now, where were we?
Shouldn't we rather...
No, Christopher will sort it out, you'll see.
Well.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Ja, várjál, nem tudja, hogy Master
I'll
Strike-ot.
sort you out nicely.
Stand firm! Otherwise the first strike will put you on your arse!
Sacre! You're fast.
Of course I'm fast. Fucking Godwin.
Not bad for a priest. sneaky. You're fast.
Arm lower.
Nem olyan taknyos.
Not bad for a priest.
Look in my eyes, not at my sword.
Mi van?
What's wrong with your legs?
Mi van?
Not bad for a priest.
Mondjad, hallgatlak.
Hey, who told you that?
Mondja, paterod. Úgy néz ki, hogy neked nem tanította meg.
Cover your right side. You got a gap there I can drive a cart through.
You're fast.
Swing with your whole arm,
Igen?
not just
Figyelek.
your wrist.
Imádom, mi most is tanítja. Na, hajrá Christopher, figyelek.
You don't know which end of that thing is up.
That will do.
Ja, kaptál kettőt.
My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
He'll always be like that.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days. He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
Aye. The outcome of this war depends on it.
That sounds very important, considering you and Alder are both pretty small players. After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself.
Na, Christopher
He'll hear
beszél.
me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
Do you have a choice?
Do I have any choice?
If it's really that important, you don't.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Yep.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Ennyi. Na. Sokodjunk meg. You won't get any cleaner. Ja, hogy a gyerek csupa vér.
The better.
The dirtier the better. Köszi. Kivel kell beszélnem? Got support from Bocsak of Kunstad. Úgy lökél fel.
That's exactly why we mustn't push too hard.
Sir Bocek, your niece Yitka,
can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed, without reservations.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstad.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
Oh, shit.
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yitka and the unhappy Lord Cable.
Here's to a good bargain.
What was it I wanted?
Kell részeg vagyok. Repu gained, az a lényeg. Fucking hell. Mit nem iszunk?
I'm still hoping it works out and we walk out of here with a clear plan. But maybe you were right. It was probably not the best idea to gather all the lords under one roof.
Nem kellett volna meginnom azt a bort. Bassza meg.
Other times, I would celebrate hearing you admit a mistake, Margrave. But if I were you, I wouldn't lose faith just yet.
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstad will support our cause.
Both of them? Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
What is it?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes! And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslas, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Uh-oh. Hans?
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
Hans, hidd el, sokkal, mint a börtön. Henni, hol a sapkád?
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
Eric.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rabble get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylanders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You... don't go anywhere, boy.
Oi, oi.
Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly. We have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh, but rightfully so. These counselors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long.
Mi lenne, ha most csak úgy fejbe lőném nyíllal a király? Vége a játéknak nagyon hamar. Kopaszt is, meg őt is.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been as with a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place. The country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
Nem tudok, semmi nincs nálam. Semmilyen fegyvert nem engedtek behozni. Hát max oda tudok menni, leboxolni neki egyet, de szerintem annak nem lenne jó még.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Yops
does everything he can to
sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Yops is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp's nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Marquardt.
Gyertyatartó, milyen bunk. Amúgy tényleg, az kéne lecsapni.
And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in the land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
Szétkapnám vele, mint flokja láptörlőt.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it.
Hülyet is töltöget? Ja, nekem is csináltam, ahogy néztem Luke-ot.
Odorin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Odorin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosh will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No, we shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is. Quickly! If Rabosh falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff...
Egy jó tokait. Várjál. Beleköpök.
We could use it to raise this town all too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't...
Várjál, kíváncsiak valamire.
Bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning.
Az ablakon volt egy kis sistergés, úgyhogy az upscalinget kikapcsoltam.
The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
Later the evening at the Rabosh Fortress.
Again? You. And Margaret lost.
Az én vagyok? Ja, nem.
Did he say that Lord Kronstadt was going with them?
Bazd meg. Véletlenül be vagyunk baszva. Hogy csinálni? Dr. Einstein, celebrate with the guests. Optional. Shout.
I bet you made it all up anyway. I would just call you.
Sidra sa pupi kupi lupum.
How'd you like a wine,
The art of
Chevalier.
winemaking has a long
Száhokat az
tradition
oké, de itt valami más mondanak, nem?
La Belle France.
Aha.
Recipes are passed on from father to son.
Már nagyon sok mindent lát, nem csak ember.
Each generation brings them to perfection. I myself was practically raised on wine. How many I have tasted. Even the French royal court took note of my refined
Alig bírnak állni.
The king himself had wine delivered for his table according to my advice.
A Cranston like you knows what's good.
I expect his lordship had the best barrels rolled out. Now, if he'd only known he had a real connoisseur here.
Best barrels!
Mon ami.
Mon ami, this wine
Mon
would
ami.
perhaps be suited to the infirmary, where it would suffice for cleaning wounds and easing pain. For that, the taste is of little consequence. Give me 109 in full.
Reputation lost, az jó.
I'm filled with
Akkor megérte velük beszélni.
Have you lost your hearing?
Várjál, mert beszélni, várjál, mindjárt jövök.
Get over here now!
I don't know. You're considering how much bark.
First you ridicule me in front of Alder, and now I find out you're sneaking around my house like a thief?
What?
I should have known you'd turn your servants into snitches.
And you're as drunk as a fiddler to boot.
And I plan to get even drunker. And with some luck, I'll forget about this family reunion by morning.
You'd have done better not to come here at all.
Aye, for sure. If it weren't for me, you lot would be arguing till doomsday.
Stop playing savior and stop drinking, or I'll have you thrown in the moat. Just look at him.
Fuck off.
But you can hardly stand straight, Martin.
Dry devil.
Having a good time? He's a fucking bore. These old farts here have no idea what fun is.
Well, what are you missing? There's wine, food. Even a few females worth the same.
Ah, I'd rather have a game of dice. Or a good punch-up.
Come on, play.
Well, let's have a game then. But for what?
For a coin. What else? 10 groschen of my worldly wealth, then. Quite rightly. Honor your vow of poverty and turn out your purse.
Részegen nincsenek jó kockáim. Fucking hell, azt se látom, mi van. 5-ös, 1. Azok olyan gyakorolták, hogy felték ezeket? Szerintem igen. Kifingott. Az nem jó. Na ki lesz ott egy egyes. Kedves egészségedre. Death no! Az nem jó. Az nagyon nem jó. Fucking hell. Ezt kiveszem. Oh, fuck! Nem jó. What the fuck? Az ördög csal. De jó, el is baszta. Kedves egészségemre. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ez nem jó. Veszem ezt. Hát nézzem. 1, 2, 3. Kivesszük ezt. Alig látok valamit a kockákból, de szerencsére alatta mutatja. Kedves egész... pukkandúr. Hát alatta mutatja, hogy hanyas. Oké. Ötös. Eleresztettünk egy galambot. Hopi! Miért rottyantod, genyó? Dobsz még egyet? Ó, hát dupla annyi pontja van. 1, 2... Vesszük ezt. Egy, kettő... Hát, 1, 2, 3... Ez nem jó. Nagyon kakás. Yeah. Good eye, mate. Jó, ennyi. Apró kupica, pukica. Azt rakd el, úgy, jó? El fog verni úgy. Az csak nem lesz valami égél. You lost. Yeah, fuck off. Na jó van. Elég lesz a fingásból.
Want to roll some dice? Sure. How much will you wager?
Something else.
Playing for coins a bore. You got anything else to wager? I might have something. But you'll have to bet at least 20 groschen against it. And what might that be? Let's keep it a surprise. You won't be sorry, though.
Egyszer egy májusi napon elmentem havarokkal, plusz gyerekekkel vasút napon kirándulni. Azafele ők miért jöttek el, én meg összefutottam egy másik haverbandával. Hát mondom, akkor elmegyek velük dumálni, meg iszogatni. Ez volt délután. Másfél óra alatt megittunk 6 plusz üveg pálinkát páran, és utána mondták, hogy játszunk valamit, és kitalálták, hogy jó lenne azzal a csótányos kártyáját, csótánypókerre játszani. Ne tudom, mi volt ott utána, és tudom, hogy hát azt elhiszem. Ezért pál lesz az eléggé megrak. Ajaj. Kivesszük. Kedves egészség. Na? Nem baszottam meg. Ez egy jó dolog. Na jó. De... itt valami csalás lesz amúgy. Hát... kedves egészség. Ja, és 600-at gurit. Köszönöm szépen. Fixen volt valami casting, ahol csak diffizni, meg pukizni kellett amúgy. Kinézem a Warhorsosokból. Ó. Jó lesz, köszi. Díjatos páleszt. Valami visszajött, akkor kezdte, hogy hol a pálesz, inna, milyen pálesz volt itt valami? Kezdték ártatlanul, mert már nem volt az üvegben. Megittátok. Szép. Kedves egészségedre. Azt hiszem nyertem. Na. Hol a jutalmam? Hol a...
You can dip that rotten carrot in lard and ram it up your dry arse. I was just having a laugh with you. Lighten up a bit, eh? But if you don't like your prize, hand it over here. Here you are. Not much use to me. Ah, you've got no imagination. It's not for eating.
Nem tudom, mit kaptam. Nem figyeltem, az a baj.
Like I could shove it down the back of the cousin's shut.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about getting married again? It would make a lot of things easier for you.
And how should I interpret this question?
In the simplest terms,
no.
I'm offering you a business deal without any ulterior motives. I am far too old for some sentimental courtship.
Mondjuk én is egyébként.
You're amusing. But you know my answer. I appreciate your friendship. But I'd rather run my own affairs.
I understand. Let's at least drink to your success.
And let's drink to the future of Lady Yitka. May her marriage to Lord Capon bring her happiness.
They're young. They'll have plenty of time to cultivate that happiness.
Well, the groom isn't looking too happy at the moment.
Igen, tudni kell, milyen társadalom ez.
Weren't you supposed to travel with Sir Hanush? Raise an army, prepare a wedding feast and all that?
All hail Jobst. He sorted out things here nicely. He got my money for a start, and that's more than I wanted to give him. But you know how it goes. Give them a finger. I explained to the Margrave that I'm not going anywhere, and I sent my captain with him. He's still young and full of piss and vinegar. I'm too old and fond of my comfort.
Did you at least discuss with Hanush where the wedding will take place?
Nothing to discuss. It'll be at our castle, Potstein, of course. It's the pride of our family. We can fit in 3 times more people than here, and that still wouldn't be much.
Ah, but there are 2 castles in Rattay. I'd bet my right arm old Hanush will want to have the wedding there.
What?
Szia, Blade!
In Rattay?
Köszönöm szépen.
Well, I ought to look into that then.
Újazásnál tartunk.
I won't be your dead's messenger anymore.
Az öreg szeretné megújazni Annát, az fix. Celebrate with guests. Alright, ez meg volt. Dogi. Beszéljünk Liechtensteinnel. Going! What do you need?
You in need of something, my well-oiled friend?
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they say, all's well that ends well. So, to brighter tomorrows. Touching. Come now. What's become of your poetic soul?
I
never had one.
Truly? Not even a little?
Maybe.
Maybe once. The older I get, the worse it is. Give me a few more years and I'll become a professional mourner.
See now. I'll gladly drink to that with you. Only there's nothing to drink. We've run dry.
Fuck. I've got a tongue like a slice of weak old bread after all that gabbing.
Well, get something wet for us then.
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it as far as the keg.
To hell with that keg slop. Your father surely has something better stored away. I had
Mikor foglaljuk el a világot, kocsma szimulátor? Adnám. Simán csinálnék egy ilyen külsejű játékot, mint ez. Csak neked kell vinned egy kocsmát. Akár lehetne úgymond így a középkorban is. És így te lennél a tulajdonos, intézni kéne a fuvarokat, felvenni embereket, interjúztatni őket. Finally csak a wine. Picture. Jug of wine. Keressünk jug of wine-t. Papika. Ja, kocsmáros. Adom. Van egy ilyen nevű... Ja, csak az ilyenek mind ilyen pixel grafikák. Igen, én ilyesmire gondoltam, hogy ilyen élethűbb legyen, ne pedig ezek a... Potion. Nálam van a pitcher. Nem jó sem. Rob. Hopi, ide. Akárhova oda megyek, oda fingok mindenhova. Wine, pitcher. Csak a wine. Lehet, hogy lent van? Várjál. Fucking hell. Megyünk ki. Szerintem nem lesz szar, mert vagy 8 év fejleszték és Indie Studio, nem emlékszem, ki beszélt volna. Ember ki van feküdve. Itt van pitcher. Ez csak... Hopi! Fucking hell. Nem lehet beleönteni abba azok a pitcherbe, azért. Ordinate pitcher. Te még mindig azt a szerencsétlen tyúkot pucolod? Hát, Mr. Bro. Hopika. Csak indi lehet belőle.
Stuff your craw anywhere.
You can
hope.
There wouldn't be no war.
Itt mi történik?
Oh, yeah. Keep going.
So you keep saying.
What the fuck? Ti mit csináltok? A nő térdel.
Holy God, Holy Mighty One, Holy Immortal One, have mercy on us. O Angel of Christ,
Most
Holy
imádkozik?
Guardian and Protector of my soul and body, forgive me every transgression which
Ide
I've committed this
dugrantok
day,
neki.
and deliver me from every craft of my enemy and adversary.
Fucking hell. Imádkozik, miért lepippantaná be az öreget.
End up like that poor sod over there. They got by without us so far.
Imádkozik.
They'll be fine.
Miért van sejtem ez zene? Jug of wine. Papi.
Sword is purely
Szumi előtt.
That's right.
Átnézek most mindent. Ha visszamegyek, hogy mi mindig imádkoznak el. Még mindig imádkoztok? Igen. Az elefánt ormányához imádkozik. Lehet, hogy itt lesz. Picsa. Jug of wine kell nekünk. A sima pohárban lévő wine az nem jó. Jug of wine. Ide is hagytunk egy kis... Hello!
Good day. What would you like?
Are you busy?
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. But are you busy?
Végzem.
What do you think? A fortress full of hungry mouths and half of them noble
Lógass
lords
be neki az
accustomed to
élet
all
is,
kinds
az
of
kéne.
debauchery.
Food was excellent.
I haven't eaten so well in a long time. Lord Odoran was fortunate in his choice of cook.
He didn't have to choose me. My old ma spent her whole life in this kitchen, and my grandmother before her. God rest them both.
Wait, you're Kvieta's daughter, Madlenka.
It's been a long time since anyone has called me by that name. I was afraid you'd forgotten me.
I would never forget.
Do you think I could ever forget you? Come on.
Ah, stop it. Even as a young lordling, you were bringing girls here from all over the county. I was just convenient for you, because the kitchen was just a few steps away.
Oh, come on. I also chased that dolt from the stables away from you. Or have you forgotten?
Cooper? How could I? When your father sent you away, I found out that dolt wasn't so bad. I ended up marrying him.
You haven't changed
You
at all.
haven't changed at all.
But I have. And you've changed too. You left a haughty young pup, and now you return...
An old dog.
Not at all. The years have been kind to you.
And how have you been all this time? Did my father give you a hard time?
Not really. When he remarried and had another son, his mood improved quite a bit. I also got married. And soon I had my little Elishka running around under my feet in the kitchen. Young Sir Christopher used to come and play with her sometimes. He was always a very nice lad.
Tell me more about Elishka.
She's a big girl now. She's a maid here for now, but I'm sure they'll find her a better job soon.
Well, aren't you worried about her? A young girl doesn't have it easy in life.
Even as a little girl, she used to beat up the boys in the village. I put up with all sorts of things without a peep, but not her.
And your husband?
Cooper? He died when Elishka was just a baby. He got bitten by a dog, and the wound festered. It was quick.
God grant him eternal
Dehogy
life.
is. Ő a maid.
Why don't we go somewhere together? Somewhere private. And reminisce about the old days.
You really haven't changed at all. You ought go and have a drink and stop chasing girls. I mean, it's embarrassing at your age.
Uh-oh. Az baj.
Where might I find the really good wine here?
Why? You don't like the stuff from the kegs?
It's not for me.
Nem
One of the
sikerült.
distinguished guests asked for it.
Aha. If you go down the cellar stairs,
Hendriknek nem mondott
you'll
volna
see
nemet.
the pictures lined
Csak
up on the
mondom.
table. It's Lord Odorin's best. He's drunk plenty of it himself today.
Bye! Bye. Henrynek fixen nem maradt volna nemet. Úgy pörgött volna, bazd meg azon a... Na mindegy. Na mit ígyunk? Take the red.
The red will be good, I hope.
Mondjuk lehet nem segít, hogy az öreg végig fingorásza a megyét.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Ruthard. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you beat it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Az egy warhorse. Nézd, a csupa izom.
There's some horsemen right out front of the fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. He wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Bajt érzek. Oh no. Ez nagyon nem jó.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Oh fuck. Ez Otto, bazd meg.
Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Fuck me.
Seize the nobles!
Otto von Bergam. Let's go. Balhé van. És részegen fogunk csatázni?
Fucking horse! Get him! Stand your ground! True blood!
Yes! Yes! What the fuck?
Drive those horses out!
What the fuck?
Be able to take another one.
Why? Mi történt? Fingd le őket, let's go. Szétcsinálják a fingóst. A faszt. Jön Henry! Jön Henry! Hátba vert kétszer izével, Warhammerrel, azért kaptam. Hátulról támadott, mint egy gyávák. Go help your friends. Át tudok költözni? Most azonnal. Go! Az Henry Cavill.
Whoa!
Get fucked!
Go! He's had it!
You're dead.
You are dead. Get fucked. Jamishi.
White!
Kaptad. Te is kaptad. Need a hand? Akkor te is. Ki van még itt? Szia Hans! Segítek, jó? Csap szét! Hol van Otto von Berghoff?
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Fuck me.
Do my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin!
How did you get... Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Odorin, Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Kunrad of Vector away too.
Fuck me.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Yobs long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but not everyone was so lucky.
Árulják a testüket. Where did they go?
Where did they go? Back to Rattay?
They've got to raise an army for us. And I hope they fucking hurry.
So we have a plan to counter Sigismund?
More of a promise than a plan. But, as you can see, our allies are getting scarce. We should lay low until Jobst gets back.
I'll gladly play dead for a while.
Be so kind. And don't speak of the dead.
What's the matter, Godwin?
What happened, Godwin? Who died?
Anna of Waldstein. She didn't stand a chance against those butchers.
Várjál, volt küldetés, hogy meg kell menteni?
She was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. And they almost killed my brother.
But only almost. Good luck.
What do you mean, almost? What happened?
Ki írta, hogy meg kell védeni?
Fortunately, Christopher tried to defend our father, but nearly lost his life doing it. For nothing. Old grievances aside, Odorin is an ally, the same as Rutard and Botchek.
Well, they all have their quirks. Cousin Botchek's a money-grabbing magpie. But I wouldn't give up on the fucker either.
We'll have to wait
Ki volt írva, hogy defend valakit, és nem tudtam elolvasni.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
They only wanted Odorin.
Markvart bragged about it to Sigismund, and Sigismund promised to make him Lord of Raborsh in return.
When he sees what von Bergau did with it, he'll shit himself.
You find that funny? Do you like watching those foreigner dogs rampaging around and slaughtering innocents? Who else has to die before we do something about it?
Tell us about it. We were neck deep in corpses before
Majd mentek és visszatöltek, csak kíváncsi vagyok, hogy...
Not you.
Hogy Annát meg lehet-e menteni.
I'd trade places with you in a heartbeat, trust me.
We've lost a lot of allies. We'll have trouble finding new ones. They'll be afraid to even peep against Sigismund. Well, are you surprised? Look around. Sigismund showed everyone what's coming for all who resist him.
What can we do now?
Is there anything we can do?
Definitely not right now. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey... Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jewish quarter. That is, he ordered it, more like.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot. The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies. We have to help them.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing.
I can just see them all jumping to their feet and rush to save their poor Jews. Maybe Samuel will figure something out. He wanted to talk to you anyway.
He's here too?
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as possible. And tell Liechtenstein too.
Mentek egyet, megnézem, hogy mit írt ki.
Godwin? Give me a moment. I'll
go and see Christopher first.
Mert hogy Anna...
Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows...
Mert hogy Anna az egyik ally. Protect your brother. Find csak a wine. Mert Anna az egyik elájunk, ami nagyon fontos, ugye? És ha ő meghal, akkor az még rosszabb. Úgyhogy csináljuk azt, hogy lemegyünk instant a wine-ér. Nem játszunk senkivel se kockát, nem beszélek apámmal. Megkapjuk a redet.
The red will be good, I hope.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Root.
Protect your brother.
Can't make it on his own.
Jó, elkapják Annát így is, úgy is. Már ott fekszik, hallottam. Ja. Nem tudom, mi történt, de amúgy a loading time az nagyon durván lecsökkent.
Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows up, I want to know about it. I'll be with Christopher.
Put enough arrows in him to knock down 3
Így meghalni.
What about your
Yes. The best thing we can do is to keep doing our work.
What is the old lord saying?
Good to see you both. Alive.
Oh, come on. You know, I've walked out of much worse scrapes laughing.
They could well have killed us all. If it hadn't been for you, Henry, von Berkhoff could have caused a lot more harm.
Von Owlet surprised even Sigismund with that. You should have seen the look on the king's face when he told him.
Well, thank God we all survived.
Well, not all of us. They killed Lady Anna of Volstein and many other nobles. It was slaughter.
And they captured our closest and most influential allies. Without them, we can hardly get the burghers on our side. We're stuck.
We'll figure out a way to help them.
But how? Our plans are ruined.
Get a grip. Whining doesn't help anyone.
You're right. When I drink too much wine, I get overwhelmed with self-pity. Nevertheless, I have to admit it can't get much worse.
Actually, it might. And very soon. At Sigismund's council, an order was given to ransack the Jewish quarter.
God's wounds! We need to get back to the city and warn them.
I'm going with you.
Out of the question. Do you want to end up imprisoned again? You'll be more useful if you stay here and help Shishka. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel. I'll try to get someone else to join.
Okay.
This is a nightmare.
Anna of Waldstein. Ki halt még meg? Matilda. Igen. Valahol még égnek a dolgok. Itt a néni, jól van?
I'm sure the people in the hall, everybody was here. Only your man.
Jön Devil. Let's fight. Okay. Okay, Harry.
You did. But I still insist that it was...
Kristina.
Hi there.
Helena of Dvorec. Szavaz Gimpi. Boldog érdekelt évfordulót. Köszönöm szépen.
priest. That's true.
Christopher nincs jól.
We need to get you into safety. You're the Lord of Rabosh now.
The Lord of Ruins.
Do not start with them.
Sam, I need to have a word with you.
Uh-huh. That makes two of us.
Just tell him. You may not get another chance.
Daredevil.
I talked to Godwin. He said you know each other?
What did you talk about? Me?
We talked about your stepfather.
Yeah.
Martin.
Why? Neither of you knew him.
It's true. I did not.
Tavacini.
But I tried many times. Remember how I stared at your sword when we first met? I recognized the Master's symbol engraved there. Well, the thing is...
Bazd meg.
I am Martin's son.
What? Pa's son? How did...
Yes. His son. That is, his bastard son.
Are you sure? We look the same age, and Martin lived with me and Ma as long as I can remember.
When I was born, he was already long gone. Maybe we are not even a year apart.
And what does that make us then?
Nothing. Proof perhaps that both your god and mine have a sense of humor. You know, all my life, I thought if I did not give a shit about that man, it would be easier. But now that I know I will never see him, it troubles me that I did not get to know him.
Nem Evil Twin izé lesz. Nem, ez csak egy mellékinformáció.
I can tell you about him if you want. But now is not the right time. This is not the end. We have to go to Kuttenberg, now. Sigismund ordered confiscation of the property of people in the Jewish quarter.
The king has approved Xere.
He's no king to me. He's a fucking whoreson.
What's a Gierze? Gzeire.
What's a Gzeire?
That is hard to explain.
Nonsense. It is as clear as day. Christians set out to kill our people. Innocent and often defenseless. Ransack their houses and divide the loot. And all that with the king's blessing.
This is what we were afraid of. But we did not expect Sigismund to be in such a hurry. We need to get back into the city and get the people out, quick, before it begins. Will you come with us, Henry? Every man counts.
I'll come. And Liechtenstein already knows about it too.
Very well. We should get going right away.
Let's not waste time.
Exodus.
Thank God you're all right. On the way here, I saw Sigismund horsemen and feared the worst.
Kubienka? What brings you here?
Well, I heard you were having some kind of a feast here, so I came to grab a bit of meat. And I see, instead of that, you have a massacre here.
Well, the real massacre is yet to come if we don't do something fast. We have to get to Kuttenberg. Can we borrow the wagon you arrived on?
But of course. I borrowed it too, if you know what I mean, but,
Could you stop blabbering already? We don't have the time.
Easy, Ingele. And you,
Ingele.
sir, if you can, come with us and help us.
All right. But could you please tell me what the fuck is going on?
I'll explain to you on the way. Time is running out.
Are you coming too, Sir John?
Of
Ő a
course.
csapatunk tagja. Is that a good idea?
Do you think that's a good idea? No offense, sir, but you're no great warrior.
I'm not. But I'm not just going to sit here and wait, either.
All right, then. Let's go.
Skacok, mielőtt tovább folytatódik, most mentett a játék, azért mentek még egyet. Innen fogjuk folytatni, mert most el kell mennem. Innen fogjuk folytatni jövő héten valamikor. Lehet, hogy kedden. Meglátjuk, talán kedd este. Ez ilyen kis rövidke volt, 2,5 óra. Aki nézte YouTube-on, annak nagyon szépen köszönöm. És a következő részben találkozunk.